Let's talk about the Cyber Dragon experience. So make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more us content. Yes, I had to put together the new Cyber Dragon pile to play. This little pile of brickery has been, and by the way, these look like fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards, by the way, I'm not going to lie to you. Somebody's going to be like, Robbie, how do you have these? I printed them on my printer, alright, literally. Went on DeviantArt, grabbed one of the proxies that somebody made, sized it to a Yu-Gi-Oh card printer, go burr, and boom, I have a proxy. Since that is always what somebody always is complaining about. So make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on content. Okay. So, the Cyber Dragon experience right now. So, we still have more Cyber Dragon stuff coming. So, right now, this is basically about as good as it gets on the early side of things. The new Cyber End is very, very strong. Combined with Clockwork Knight. And just to clarify, if this card's attack is higher than its original attack, you get 3 attacks with it. So, a Clockwork Knight face up, that's this Cyber End Dragon. Attack 3 times, which, you get to win the game. Isn't that really funny? I love it. It's so incredibly funny. Now, I have seen a lot of lists for Cyber Dragons, and I am not an expert on, like, old combo Cyber Dragons. The reason why I wanted to play this build is because this actually feels like Cyber Dragons. This feels like the Zane Truesdale special, where you're actually just going second and you're trying to OTK. Now, going first, I mean, your game plan is to probably try to make double infinity and pass turn. Did you know that infinity is not once per turn? A little bit of a fun fact, where you can also make like a Constellar Pallades if you need to, if you want to bounce a monster on the opponent's field back to the hand, but you do got to be a little bit careful of the locking mechanisms and things that you get. Also, Future Fusion Nova and the new Cyber End. First of all, this card is cracked as crap. Yes, I can only declare a monster with the monster. Also, you cannot declare attacks except with the monster summoned with this effect, which that literally does not matter, because the minute you slam this stupid card on the field, you're going to mill off some Cyber Dragons, and you're going to mill off some Kaijus. This little fun interaction here, you just trash and bury down some very, very stupid cards, and you get probably one of the funnest OTK decks that you play. Now, Chimera Tech, Rampage Dragon, and Duality, those are other things that the deck can do. If you just think you're turning your brain off and you're going into OTK Central, you know, especially with like Disc Blaster, for example, Disc Blaster being a machine dupe target, Cyber Dragon Core being a machine dupe target, it's actually really cool that, you know, you get to abuse machine dupe in this deck. I mean, there will be some scenarios where, you know, machine dupe is a card that you actually have to draw. I also think that's another thing with this deck that people are going to find a little bit disheartening, is like, you have to play this deck as a going second board breaker deck. And that's going to mean that you're going to have to draw things like the Future Fusion Nova, for example. I assume that there are cards that we could try to play that could try to search for the Future Fusion Nova. But at that point in time, I mean, like, do we really matter? Also, one of the other classical things that, you know, you're going to be able to do with this deck is Jormungandr being able to bring out a Cyber Dragon from the deck, equipped to it. And if you've got Clockwork Knight face up, guess what? You get to do a whole contact fusion with the opponent's field. I actually am more surprised with how stupidly broken Clockwork Knight is with Cyber Dragon as a whole. I feel like that interaction is more broken than actually just activating Future Fusion Nova and making a Cyber End Dragon and then paying half of your life points to go search for the Future Fusion, or for the limiter removal, try to clear out the game. Now, the question becomes, you know, hey, do we need to actually play, like, the polymerization in that? Because one of the things that the Jormungandr actually says is you can return the Cyber Dragon equipped to it back to the hand to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. And yes, it does actually say you have to search for a poly. You can't search for the Future Fusion Nova. It would have been way too good had they given me a consistency piece on that level. So, honestly, I think it's fine. Now, do you need to play multiple limiter removals in the deck? No. No. Do not even think about playing multiple copies of limiter removal, because I feel like at the point of playing limiter removal as a multiple numbered card, I feel like you're just welcoming inconsistencies. And one of the things I'm very afraid with this deck is, because of the way that the new Cyber Dragon boss monster, it has to be 3 machine monsters with 2100 or more attack, which is actually pretty important to think about. Also, and as long as, you're dumping down using only light monsters, that's why we do play the light machine kaiju in the deck, because, you need the thing. It is a light machine monster, and it's got over the attack threshold being 3,300. If you kaiju over your opponent's monster too in this deck, I don't really have any problems with that. Now, do I think Cyber Dragon's going to be a tier 1 monster going forward? No, not at all. Anytime you have a deck that can go second, your opponent's going to know what you're playing, and they're going to counterpick you every single time. For example, you can open up Cyber Dragon Core and Machine Dupe going first, and you're like, oh, that's a pretty cool board, but I mean, okay, so you get an infinity out of that. How much more is the rest of the extenders going to be that you're going to get? It's just, the Cyber Dragon cards very much rely on either, Rampage or Mega Fleet to do the massive contact out, or you're relying on a Future Fusion Nova resolving to be able to make that big fusion monster to be able to play the game. And okay, look at this. I opened up Cyber Dragon Core Clockwork Knight plus Future Fusion Nova. If I'm going second, I probably just won the game. But once again, I mean, this requires me to open up how many cards to be able to try to play the game. And that's going to be your thing. I am happy with testing this deck. I can't really express that enough. One of the things I was worried about with the overframes is, I was getting excited for some of them. Some of them have been really great, but I'm not excited to rush out and slam down Dark Magicians on the table. Blue Eyes was okay. I mean, Pendulum Magician was never really my style. The Rocket stuff looks kind of fun. The Starving Venom stuff does seem a little bit interesting in terms of spice ability and things there. I mean, that's kind of an important thing to take away, but most of the overframes, outside of the generically powerful cards that are going to have a lot of application, case in point, look at the Clearwing Synchro Monster, level 7 that pops on summon, gains attack. Yeah, that card's going to see play. It's just, if you're looking at playing these within the themes, the theme availability is going to be very limited. This does make me actually hope, though, for some actual additional Cyber Dragon support on top of this. I mean, actually, the Overframe collection in general was great for powering up all sorts of, bits and pieces for the, anime stuff. This is the way that you're supposed to do nostalgia. This is the way that most Yu-Gi-Oh! Players want nostalgia to be done. We want to be able to, see, X idea coming to fruition here because, you actually did a proper retrain for once. And that's why I'm excited. I really am. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming. And I do want to ask you guys, what do you want to see from these Overframe collections? What excitement do you want? There's a little bit of something for everybody in these overframes, at least being the starting point here for things. And with that being said, I mean, I assume that somebody is going to get something, whether or not you get just a little new synchro tool for your toolbox deck, or maybe you get a new resource to make the deck feel a little bit more consistent. So, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. But I'm having fun right now. You guys have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.